Morning at NTV. Good morning. I really want to read out a couple of tweets here before I go in the next conversation. There is one that comes in from Nobo Asia. I think I pronounced your name right. And he goes that it's very humbling to wake up this morning on a rainy day and I see the Archbishop on TV. Thank you so much, NTV. Then Martin says, good morning. The Archbishop alluded that we should be humble. Can this go to the government officials who are arrogantly misusing the roads with the wait? You put that siren for lack of a better article there. And then Mami, that is Grace Seal, say that I'm a proud Ugandan in Namibia, and when I see a godly man on TV this early morning, it reminds me that for God and my country. Thank you so much, Andrew. Then Kamusime Bosco says, I didn't know today is a public holiday until when you guys made it clear. Boss, it's a public holiday. Find it in your soul and let's have this conversation. Now, for the past few months, people have been vanishing, and this escalation in the country has caused a panic and fear among others and the citizens. NTV has been following up these issues, and more than dozens of these have vanished with no whereabouts. Cars known as drones. If I could tap in yesterday's conversation, police said they call drones because they're supersonically fast on the road. And these ones have evoked fear in natives, and the security of the country seems to dim and been shattering. Now, this morning we bring you Brigadier Flavia Biekwa, so the Army spokesperson, to speak to us about the rampant abductions witnesses in the country. If you have a question for Mrs. Flavia, please, the hashtag is Morning at NTV. Put the hashtag, bring in your question, and she's going to be answering us this morning. Good morning, Flavia.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. I'm glad to be here.
And happy holidays for Janan Luwum. And to start with, following the president's views on those who have been arrested with the help of drones, where do we stand as security?
First and foremost, I want to wish Ugandans a happy Janan Luwum Day, especially in the Protestant church.
Yep.
But away from that and back to the security situation in the country, I would say that generally speaking, the security situation in the country is okay. But this doesn't mean that there are no isolated incidents here and there.
By
But
isolated, you mean?
No, I mean, you get a situation here, you may get someone picking something there,
Okay.
you may hear something from somewhere, so those are there. But on a whole, I can say that the security situation in the country is fine, and
Okay.
it's good, and the country is calm, yes. I can confidently say that there was total peace in all the corners of Uganda.
Total peace.
Yes.
Flavia, people are
Yes.
being kidnapped. Abductions are going on every other day.
Those
Yesterday
are-
we ran another story.
That
So you deem that as isolated incidences?
That has been said, and especially it has happened within KMP. And to me, I wouldn't. Sometimes I'm lost between, and sometimes I don't understand when people say abductions, and sometimes I ask myself, can the government abduct its people? But they are arrests. But perhaps the contention would be on and
The mode of
complaints
arrests.
on the mode. And the mode of arrests, and this has been ably addressed by the president. The president, for those ones who watched him, was it on
Saturday, yes.
Yes, he ably talked about this. He gave, and whatever he said, I wouldn't want to go back to what he said, but he instructed, and he said that there should be no cover-up. Why would security agencies cover up these arrests? They should. The arrests should be very clear, and all the information should be given to the public. Yes, because I think the government has the legitimate responsibility to pick the people they think have gone against the law. So I would also go with the president that there's no need to cover up this. So I wouldn't call them kidnaps. These are arrests, but the mode.
But the law says, Brigadier, that if someone is against the law, they could be summoned by police, to go and make a statement. And if they fail to comply, that's when we could resort to this kind of man of arrest. How did we get here as a nation?
No, but I mean that's what it says. But all whatever is happening, I think is not like we said, away from the mode. It doesn't mean that all the time someone is going to be arrested. They must be given summons. I don't think so. We've seen this in practice. We've seen this before. But then, like you're saying, why is it now? Why is it now? And I think all Ugandans who are fair should really know why is it now, and should also put this in the correct perspective. Remember, between 18 to 19 November, what happened?
There were riots and demonstrations.
Yeah, those are riots and demonstrations, and the whatever, and the attempt to ban the country, and those other schemes, and that one the president also addressed. Those other schemes that has prompted all this. Yes, it has prompted all this because this is not the first time Uganda is this is not the first time we are having elections, or because the Euros want to bend towards politics, that these are politicians, these are oppositions, but this is not the first time.
This is about security.
Yes.
If it's about security, it's the mandate of the government and it's the mandate of the UPDF to protect the country against these bad elements, which you really appreciate. But the mode of arrest, and you're saying it's not the first time it's happening, how bad would it be if you're going to take me and you tell my people, we are taking Chamagero because of ABC, so that they can have a redress if they go to courts of law?
I wouldn't want to go back to what the president said. The president said, and he was very categorical, that every Ugandan is going to be accounted for.
Yes.
He has instructed that all this information to be given the public. The lists of the people should be given to the public. And the Ugandans must be told what they want to hear and what they are supposed to hear. And this is going to be done.
Perfect. Yes. Yesterday, there was a security meeting where we had the head of the CID, the police, and other security agencies. Everyone didn't give us an answer to this. We asked for the same list, and everyone is saying this should go to the Attorney General. And this still comes back to security. Is security in harmony, if I can take it that way? Are you guys in harmony?
Why not?
The agencies.
Why not?
Everyone seems to go around this same issue about
no, but perhaps because I don't want, I was not privy to that meeting. So I don't know, yes, because you didn't see me there, the one who is saying you are there. So I was not there. I don't know what transpired, but yes, the Criminal Investigations Department, Crime Intelligence, and these instructions, by the way, before even the president talked, had already been given by the director, the deputy IGP, that this should be done, that everyone should be accounted for, all the lists of all the lists should be made available, such that, and people are taken to court. This is what the president, the DIGP had already instructed. So if you said Director CID says it's going to be the Attorney General, then definitely someone is going to do it. Whether, like you're saying, they are going around it or we are going around it, but it's going to be done because this is an instruction that has already been issued.
What could be your word as a citizen and a Ugandan? What could be your word to someone whose family member went missing for now 2 months and they were picked up by, I'll give you an example. In Entebbe, there was one who was picked from the police station. From the police station, that's where he was picked. And the OC,
police?
Yes, from the police station. And the OC police station told us that they came and identified themselves as CMI. What would you tell such a family in this kind of situation?
Just to allay their fears, the good thing, someone says that he has been picked from police, and someone identifies themselves that this is CMI. CMI is in Uganda. It's part of the security organism of Uganda.
But the family has tried to go. We have run this story. The family has gone to CMI. CMI is not responding. It
depends on, to me, I would say it depends on what the arresters, and the CMI, like we are saying, it will depend on what they assessed. it will depend on what they want, perhaps, and what the threat around it. But then the good thing, like we are all saying, this has been stopped, and the president is saying people should be told. So these people, or these parents, or these families, whose people are still have disappeared and have not talked to them, when the president talks, it's a directive. So the president has directed. Let them come forward, because the president has already directed. And I'm sure all of us are obligated to oblige, to go by what the president has
to give
said.
us the list of who is where and why.
Yes, and I know they will.
Okay, so what will it take to end this level of violence? Yesterday there is something in the Security Council, in the security meeting, where they say that it's something to do with violence. Uganda is under attack, and people were planning to use social media and all that to cause a lot of havoc. What will it take security to come back to normalcy? And what's our call to action as citizens?
No, as first and foremost, the security situation, like I said, there is nothing about the security situation.
Okay.
Whether the question should go to the public, whether they want to see this country like it is being portrayed, that there's no peace. Taking the word to the social media, painting, sending horrific pictures.
Negative imagery.
Yes. There's a picture they sent, and it happened, and they were saying that it happened in Mkono. And these were 10 bodies, beheaded bodies, and then they were saying that it happened in Mkono. And you really wonder, can that happen in Uganda today? And then someone is not ashamed of putting such on social media, such it saturates. So they're using this other side, or one side is using this. For them, it's a weapon, and this weapon is what some of the people who are scared by the development of Uganda, by the rate at which we've been growing before COVID. Because the economists are saying that Uganda was growing at 7% annually. And they were saying this is unprecedented. And they're saying that some countries which are really scared that an African country or
to
a
go on
country,
such a supersonic speed.
So they are doing whatever it takes. And of course, the president in his speech, if you can recall very well, he was warning and saying, you people be very careful about these external forces. Not that every time they come to you, they mean good. No. So me, I would say that what we need to do as Ugandans is there are certain issues that are paining us, right? And perhaps they are legitimate. But how should we address them? Should we address them by bringing our country down? Should we do this in-house? Should we, put the government to task to do some of the things that you want to see, or to deliver us the changes that you want to see? Or should we let the country look like it's torn apart? Should we make sure that the economy goes down? Should we look for that change that is going to bring this country in tatters, leave it in tatters? Or should we look for change that is going to take our country forward?
Okay.
So the security is okay, everything is normal. That is why we do our best to make sure that nothing stands in the Uganda's road towards development.
Okay, let's talk about yesterday in the court-martial. Those 39 prisoners who were picked up from Kalangala, they were denied bail on grounds that, according to the head of the court-martial, Mr. Guti, said that there were elements that were still prone to causing violence, and they were taken back, and a date was not given.
I wouldn't want to discuss something that is in court.
Okay. You wouldn't want to discuss something that is in court. Questions on Twitter. I want to get into this. The hashtag is MongadenTV. I can have your questions in time, and then we respond to this. Uncle Meal on Twitter says, I'm sure relatives are always contacted in case of their arrest, but this is a case where people take months without hearing from those who they say have been arrested. Chikola Chitia atunyonyeremwawo. Then Pauline says, Chamagiro, thanks for bringing a Fande Biekwaso. But my question is, do they take time to share notes with other agencies just to know who was droned, like who was taken in the drone, and who was and who self-kidnapped himself, because that is another instant that could be there politically. Going to Albert. Albert says, good morning, NTV. I want to ask a very simple question. Does the military look at everything as peaceful from all angles?
For people who sometimes, I would say, you know, when you set out to do something,
Yep.
You set targets. You give levels.
Of course.
Yes, you give levels. Therefore, and I was saying that, for example, when you're in university, between, I think, 85 to 100, that is an A already.
Yeah.
So in between there, you have an A. So even if you're at 85, you have an A, and even if someone is at...
you're still in the same grade.
You're still in the same grade. So, yes, I can say that that one who asked Uganda is peaceful. There is no doubt about that.
Okay.
If they want to know that Uganda is peaceful, let them compare. You know, sometimes it's also good to have a wider outlook. And you see what is happening elsewhere. Yes. And then you should know that Uganda is 100% peaceful. But there is crime. And there is these people who want to be violent. But then the security forces are saying, no, you're not going to be violent. This is something that has been earned, that has been worked for quite long. This is something that has taken some people's lives and blood has been shared. For Uganda to look like this, for Uganda to be proud, and for the region to be proud of Uganda, and for the entire, if you want anything Africa or anything to do with it, they will first come to the president of Uganda. If they want to use a force that within the region,
professional force,
the professional force, it will be UPDF. But nga we bagamba mu Luganda nti omchi
omulungi tabulako kamogo.
Omulungi tabulako kamogo. Ate nga ne nabbi bw'atayagalibwa bwabwe. Yes, that is how Ugandans are. But Ugandans who have known where we have come from, Ugandans who have a wider outlook and have looked within the region, and even beyond our region, within what is going on in the whole world, then they should know and they should be proud that yes, we really have a country and we really have a strong government. Okay. Having this situation, and this is total peace, by the way. Yes. But like you are saying, total peace doesn't mean that you're not going to have these, like you said, these few incidents here and there. Yes.
Those will happen.
So those will happen.
So what's our call to actions as citizens from your perspective?
Our call to action is that this is a shared responsibility. Okay. It's a mandate of all of us to make sure our country is stable, to make sure that there is peace, to make sure that we live in a free environment, to make sure that we live in a country, or we live, yes, in a situations where there is no danger and fear. And this is to all of us. Every Ugandan has a responsibility. And this is mandated to us by the Constitution, by the way.
Yes, true.
Citizen responsibilities. We are all responsible to make sure that this country moves forward. We are all responsible to make sure that the country is peaceful. We are all responsible to make sure that there's no crime. That is why we should all report, and we should all join the forces in making sure that we see what we see, we avoid what we shouldn't be doing, and then we move forward. And the country should really move forward. Yes.
That is Brigadier Flavia Bekwaso from the Uganda People's Defense Forces. She's the spokesperson. She has alluded to a couple of things, and I want to thank those who have actually sent in questions here. Your questions were a little bit, you know, I didn't read those that were abusive and that were, you know, it's my job, it's within my mandate as well to scrutinize all this. There is a hashtag here, there is a handle of Brian19. Man, your tweets are so heavy, I can't read them on national television. But thank you so much for being a part of this conversation. In case you have any queries, so in case where someone has been taken by a drone in the guise of CMI, and that falls under security, and they work with the UPDF, what best can a Ugandan do?
CMI work hand in hand with police. And the president was very clear. He said that he called in CMI to help in investigations.
Okay.
And actually he said that when the CMI came in, and that was during at the height or the peak of killings in Uganda, that is in did he say 2018?
Yes.
He said that is when he called in CMI and to help police, and it helped to bring the situation almost to normalcy. But when CMI takes someone, when CMI arrests, and they do investigation, and investigations are going on, the whole matter goes back to police, because police is the lead agency in this. So whoever has a complaint goes to the criminal investigations department or crime intelligence, or whoever. Police will always help them.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, that is very, very clear. You know how to follow you go to police. In case it's CMI that has taken the person, go to police. Police will give you feedback, and then you'll take it from there. It's still morning at NTV. I'm Andrew Chama. Get home to our and see for now. I'll take a break. We're still having this conversation this early morning. Good morning.